get started here. Hey, quit dropping them. Get down with it. You're amazing. Hey, take it. Go. Sorry, guys. All right, let's get started. Let me pin this in. All right. All right, let's get started. Between break even, percent down on many of the mega caps, nothing substantial in any way, shape, or form. So, one second. All right. I had to lock one of my dogs out of the office. All right. So like 233.41 was yesterday's high in Apple. That's definitely what I'm looking at here. For a bullish entry, bearish entry, I'm probably not interested anything above pre-market low. We had a nice bounce. We've been uptrending all of pre-market on Apple, which we like to see. So definitely watching that. Also, put a little Fibs on here from yesterday's low to high. Pretty much bounced right at that 50% retrace, and we're right at 25% now. So this will probably be my top watch in the market open. And what the heck? All right, sorry guys, one of my mouse stopped working for a second. Okay, there we go. So that's the first thing I'm looking at here. Let's pull up NVIDIA. NVIDIA's down 1%. We're stuck in this chop. Again, it is the last day of the month. For me, usually last day of the month is either horrible or great. There's no in between there. I mean, these charts are really just in chop. Not my favorites at all. Don't love NVIDIA at all here. Can't even lie. Don't really even want to play that or chart that. There's literally nothing to chart there. What are we going to chart here? This chop, this shit. Yeah, I'm good on that. I mean, if we break 179.25 into 179.30, maybe we get a little bit of a push, but not the greatest chart at all. So let's go to IWM. We're pretty much a pre-market high now. I'd watch right around this 236.75 or so. See how it reacts right into market open for a possible play here. And then play into these. It is an after hours level, but I still will consider it. Let's put on the daily on this. I want to see what's next. I mean, we really don't have anything up through 240.60. That's quite the target, though. This still looks pretty bullish overall. We'll have to see how it plays out. We don't need this anymore. I'm looking at 236.75 or so for a play on IWM. SPY, we got the same thing. Are we headed into a head and shoulders? Just really just chopping around. I'm going to put it on a little longer time frame, see if there's anything clear that we're looking at. And it's this point here. We really do kind of want to hold this 646.80 or so, but I'll drag this down to pre-market low. Is bear entry and playing that down through yesterday's lows and the downside, and on the upside playing through yesterday's highs at the break of pre-market high. I don't have anything that instantly jumped out like this is what I want to play and keep my eye on at market open. The maybe Apple, we'll see. We have Tesla here coming off a little bit of this flag. A lot of different stocks have these just ugly chop head and shoulders patterns here. Looks a little top heavy overall. We just want to really be aware of that. On Tesla here, I like this hold of 346 or so. That's pretty important. And if we do put on the longer time frame here, it does look like we have a little bit of a bull flag going on, which is what I am watching overall. And if we put on the shorter time frame, this is what I'm going to watch in the market open. Because if we get a strong push, break and hold of that 347, I'm probably interested here. I really prefer to see it being pulled back instead of pushed all pre-market. But we love that setup overall. So I actually do like Tesla is one of the bullish stocks this morning. We will wait and see, however. What else we got that I'm actually interested in looking at? These are just all chop. This Google looks pretty good, actually. Let's delete everything on this one. So we want to see a break of 211.15. And then play that up to these all-time highs from yesterday. This would be a second test of them. And on this one, I'm not interested in shorts. This is a longs only setup. So that's a decent one. I like the little gap down in the push up. We'll see what happens right around that 211.20 for a possible entry here. Let's pull Google up higher on the watch list here. And let's check out Amazon, because Amazon's been another very strong name for me and has a little cleaner chart than most. Get rid of this Fibs on there. Are you guys not able to hear me on Discord? Okay. So we're looking at that 231.60 on Amazon. And then another one we could play up through yesterday's high with two targets within that. And then another one, I'm not interested in shorts unless we lose this pre-market low level. No reason for me to look short on something that's been a bullish outlier for the most part the last several days. All right, so let's reiterate. We got 2 minutes left here. We went over Tesla. We know exactly what we're looking at. It's already ripping, which is very unfortunate, but I'm loading these up as soon as we're done going over everything. Apple, we're looking at the 233.42. IWM has already ripped straight through our entry, so I guess we'll wait on that for a pullback. There's no way we could chase into that. NVIDIA, I said, was dog shit. We're not going to chart it even. And Google's starting to push. It's unfortunate they're all starting to push already. I'm putting at Tesla on, and I'm getting ready to go here. I hate that they're already pushing. Hate that they're already pushing. Can't even lie. All right. Tesla queued. Let's get this opening bell. Tesla, IWM, SPY, and Amazon. All right. Instantly filled Tesla calls as a scalp is my play this morning. That's what it looks like it wants to be. I hate that everything ran first. We really wanted to see that pullback. All right, first candle pop. Let's see how this candle closes out. I will let you know the moment I fill, but I just want to reiterate, I hate that we popped the 10 minutes right into market open. I wanted to see that after the opening bell. Period. Small Tesla call position. And this is going to be scalps. Literally 1 minute candle close below that VWAP, I'd be out. I'm also checking my swings. So if I'm quiet for a second, I apologize. All right. Let's see. Let's get this VWAP on these charts here. There we go. That's much better. Amazon top wick. We got IWM kind of pulled back a little bit in the market open, which I would prefer to see. We're sitting right around that entry that we were kind of looking for here. I need to see a little bit more though. I need to see a little bit more across the board on all these to feel like we're going to get that actual push. We already got the push. That's the unfortunate thing. A lot of these, we already got the push coming into market open that we like to scalp at market open. So in that case, we like to see a little bit of pullback first before we get that real rip. Especially Tesla. We want to see the pullback first, ideally. I'd love to see a bounce around 345 and then a rip. So here's our candle open above entry on IWM. That is the trigger point we like to see. I'm not in it. I'm a couple seconds too late there. I'm not in it. I'm not chasing into one candle. And then SPY, I'm really looking at that 646.47 or 50 actually, 646.50, where I think it would get a little bit bearish here. Top wick on IWM. Really kind of want to see that candle close above 236.85 or so. Or we could get a little heavy door slam in the face. Amazon as well, kind of topping out right at that push, right where we had that push. If this candle flips green right here, I think IWM could catch a little bit of a bid. We need this candle to flip green. To get that confirmation that it actually wants to push versus dump. Tesla's still green and IWM's still green overall. The rest, Rocket Lab, Ring, those aren't mega caps, so we don't really care too much. Baba up 10%. Celsius up 4.5%. Probably should trim out some of that Baba swing here, huh? Let's see what we got. Oh, never mind. I don't have any open BABA. I take that back. No open BABA. Must have been a pullback before that pop. That's why I closed. I think it had earnings. I think that's why I closed it. So you can just have a fade. We're going to be playing shorts. I want to, I'm going to get rid of SPY here. I want to watch Google. Yep. Google's pushing right now. Damn, I almost pulled up Google instead of Amazon too. And that was the play. If you took Google entry trim here, guys, we're in between target 1 and 2. Obviously, I did not take it. I'm still waiting around. Got these top wicks on Tesla, which caused us to hesitate. IWM's kind of chopping around. And Google, we simply didn't have up. So I'm still on the fence, guys. I still do like IWM more than the SPY at the moment. That could change quickly. IWM got crushed yesterday at one point. Damn, Google was the play, and that's the only one I didn't have up that we went over. That's unfortunate. Because I said I hated NVIDIA, so we didn't even chart it. It was Apple, Google, and Tesla. All right, so Amazon's starting to heat up a little bit here. I'm not going to keep it on 4 charts. I just want to see what starts to really heat up or not. I hate it all right now. It's all a trap. It is all a trap. I could see it. I could see it a mile away right now. Stay the F away, guys. Be careful. SoFi green again today, even if it's only 10 cents, 2 cents. And Google, I don't like at all now. We had the double top rejection right at all-time high. So we have not cleared out that liquidity. So next time we touch it, we're going to clear out with liquidity, and we don't want to take the liquidity clear entry. We want to wait till it dips below that, and we did not clear liquidity. So I do not have any interest in Google until we break 212.90 and pull back, or we get enough pullback to play it all the way back up to 212.88. I have zero interest in playing it at the break of 212.88 until that liquidity is cleared. And I'm just being honest with that. Like, I have zero interest on that. Let's clear it out, pull below it, and then push. I don't want to play the break of yesterday's all-time high. I want to play the retest of it. The break could push, absolutely, but I need that retest first. All right, IWM looks weaker, so I'm gonna replace it with the SPY. I want to see what the SPY is doing here. Pull up these shorts up to 646.80 or so. See how it plays out in that area. All right, so we cleared it out. Watch this area in the SPY for a possible bounce. There's a nice little play there if anyone took it at the loss of VWAP. I'm still not in anything. I'm not in any hurry to take anything either, guys. Full disclosure, I don't give a shit. So exactly what we were talking about on Google. So let's see that secondary candle close over that 212.90. Tesla's holding well. We got the pullback I wanted to see. So now I actually get bullish on Tesla. Same thing with Apple. All right. I'll pull up some Google here. And I'm going to have Apple on standby. Those are the two I'm liking here. Which is with the SPY kind of hemorrhaging, I don't trust either. So I'm definitely not. I'm being extra careful today. Google is doing exactly what I was talking about here. Because this is all-time high, guys. You don't buy right at all-time high break. You got to wait for retests. That was a daily all-time high. A minute retest. Does that check the box for me? Yeah. No. I don't like any of it. SPY over VWAP, maybe. Is there any I'm missing? Because I definitely don't like any of these. Peak IWM again. And that flag. It's got a little flag going on here. It's a rejection. There's the Google rejection. No confirmation. I would probably look for a 5-minute confirmation on Google minimum. We are not able to close above my trigger point for calls on IWM yet. I want that candle close. Tesla, we get a candle close over 347.75 could be interested. All right, so IWM starting to get the push here, which we like to see. No confirmations. I have no confirmations anywhere yet, guys. All right, there's IWM trigger confirmation. Man, I don't like shit. I don't like shit. I do have the IWM pulled up. I have not pulled the trigger. I don't trust any of this. Yeesh. I don't trust it. I'm going to flip. I want to see SPY as well here. SPY went red as well. All right, so there's our SPY. It keeps bouncing off that area here. So IWM's getting a little, it's trying. I've not filled IWM. I don't trust it, guys. I have not filled an IWM. I haven't filled anything. I don't like any of this shit. I don't have to take a trade. And I'm not right now. It's all junk. Oh yeah. Let me catch up with the chat here. Ash, yep. I went one day too early and got shook out. It's okay, because you know what it does? It tells us that that what we see is right. And it tells me I stuck to my trading plan. Because I cut that like pretty tight, 22%. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with cutting it because it tells me that my analysis was spot on. Here's a SPY called put trigger. Excuse me. I've not filled. This is just trigger point. Like I said, I don't trust any of this. There we go. And it's shooting down as we're trying to pull up fucking puts here. Fuck you. Fuck you. I just want to reiterate, I am not in anything. I have not taken anything. This is probably the first time for 16 minutes I haven't taken anything since forever. If you had SPY up, cool. I did not. So I'm not in. It's paying though. I just didn't want to chase that candle, and I wish I would have, because I'd already be up about 17% here. If you took the SPY here, I would immediately trim it. Immediate trim right here. That's 30% plus. What did I say? What did I say? I don't trust this shit, guys. And I moved our entry for SPY up. Remember, it was right here. And I slid it up. I said, if we lose this, we're going to dump. I didn't take it, but if one of you guys took it, I'm happy. I'm happy. I had a hell of a week. I'm here for y'all too sometimes. That's about 30% on SPY. Potential. Not realized because I didn't take it. Nice little dump. Slid that entry up because we chopped around here, and it's where we bounced 3 times pre-market. You know, and just being on the fly, being open to changing your plan a little bit on the fly is exactly what that SPY was, and not why I shoved up that entry. And also because I didn't have it pulled up, I didn't have a quick enough trigger finger on that one, which is okay. Like I said, I have not bought a single contract today. Still not anything, but what I like is look at this fall off of SPY. And Tesla's holding much better. Apple's still green. These SPY puts, I still like the SPY puts. I got to be honest. I still like the SPY puts for small buys, small fills. And we're sweep lower. I'm on down. 645.14 is what I'm looking at. If we start to heat up, or if we continue to hemorrhage with Tesla holding up, Tesla is the long I'm looking at. Tesla is the long I've got in my back pocket. There we go. There we go. Come on, SPY. I'm trimming immediately, 17% here. Oh, there's 25%. It just touched 25%. I'm down to 5. I'm down to 5. Just took a fill at $1.37. Not too much here. I really don't want to see that bottom wick. I want to see it keep flushing here. Let's keep flushing. I don't want to see it pop back up. If it does pop back up, I'll cut this quick. I'm out. I'm not giving it up. I'm out. I'm out. Pretty much at break even there. On my entry, I did lock those little bit of profits, but I was out at break even of my entry. My entry was 119, so we're at 125 now. Maybe I'm suffocating the trade. I'm okay with that. I wanted to see that kind of just keep drilling. I'm keeping a close eye on that Tesla. That's really the trade setup I'm looking for. Damn, I really wish we would have smacked on those puts here. I'm just curious what those would have paid in those few minutes there. Okay. So what, like 75? Yeah, that would have been 100% in about 8 minutes. I was 1 minute too late to that entry. It's okay though. That was 100% in literally like 4 or 5 minutes. It's okay. I took my little 20%. I'm okay. Here's Tesla or Google starting to pop up. Tesla's still below. It's hard to trust Google though, guys. I'm gonna be real with you. I want to see a 15-minute I want to see a 15-minute candle close above that 212.88 from yesterday. 212.90, I should say. Playing into the high break that already broke twice in the last few days really is not my favorite structure because it broke that high a few days ago and then yesterday it broke it again. So this would be our confirmation high. It needs to be substantial. I'm getting rid of IWM. Looks like shit. Nah, Apple ain't pushing. That ain't pushing. That's one green candle. That's chop. That ain't push. Well, I mean, yeah, it's pushing technically. 233.38. So let's say 233.40. I won't touch it before then. SPY looks like it wants to keep coming down. I got to be real. It might bounce here. Let me look at a little longer time frame on SPY. See if we're bouncing over. Yeah, we're not even bouncing over anything meaningful. Pre-market levels don't count. I mean, really, there's nothing that would expect me to catch a bid here. It's not even really that. I mean, a little bit, but that was even pre-market. We need to get back over on SPY. We need to get back over 646.53. If we stay held under there, because that is a pivot, that's the last actual pivot to me until down here, because this is all uptrend. So I don't give a shit about these points within. This entire thing. I care about this point more than anything in this range. I care about this because this is a pivot point. So that is what I'm looking at, that pivot point. Don't forget, we're already in Apple swings too, guys. So there's no need to over allocate. I feel lame that all I took was a little SPY trade that I kind of suffocated. I do like SPY still here with stop losses of 646.50 or so. I don't hate it. I like that SPY entry again. There we go. See? Come on. Let's go, baby. There we go. Give us some targets. Come on. There we go. Come on. Feed us. Flush it through 615. There we go. Come on. Come on. Follow it through. There we go. Give me a little more. A little tease you. Flush it down. Let's get the impulsive candle. There we go. Keep pushing it down. I'm selling half here. I'm not fucking around. Sold half, about 12%. I want this flush down. I don't like this chop. We want to see high volume just flush. I don't want these white candles every second candle, every third candle. Not on a Friday, not in a bull market. I don't want it. I want the flush. So I'm playing super tight. Even though right in here, technically I didn't even have to stop out. I was suffocating the trade a little bit. I'm protecting myself, baby. There we go. There we go. I'm down to 5. I was about 20% there. 98 cents to $1.19 or so. Yeah, we know. No follow through. Disappointing, guys. Disappointing. Apple's trying to be cute. What did I say about Google? I mean, I by no means consider 2-minute scalps. I talk shit about 2-minute scalps for 20% constantly. I don't consider those winners. I'm just trying to be protective here. That's why I'm taking profit so quick on these. So I want to see us hold. Candle closes below this line. Any candle closes below this line, we're still in trend. If we don't get that, we're going to start drawing fibs on this and thinking about our retrace trades. And of course, Baba Rockets. I closed everything out on Baba. We knew this was coming for Baba. It was just a matter of being patient. I'm definitely not surprised. Now we got Apple pulling back with the SPY trying to pop. Google looks like shit because that was an all-time high rejection. It's going to need a whole lot more to get through it. If it couldn't get through it at market open, we don't like that. Apple's the Lone Ranger, still green on the megas. Unless, let me pop up the rest of the megas just to make sure. MSFT. And let's pull up some Netflix. That's all I really care. Oh, yeah, Netflix is drilling. Microsoft is drilling. So Apple's the Lone Ranger. But the market's pulling it down. So if the market starts to pop up, oh, I better be ready to sell my final spies here. I don't want to get caught. Just in case. 99 cents with $1.17 trim means I could go up to 81 cents and break even. So 81 cents is my stop loss here. And I'll break even overall. It'll just be a wash trade. Because I've sold half. At that 18 cents. So we're going to keep 18 cents stop. Keep it just straight up even. Yeah, I don't care what Netflix is doing. I didn't want to pull the actual chart up. What do I want here? Google. All right. Nope. We're hovering right there. Right there. Oh. We'll see, guys. Back to break even. How about that shit? What a trap. But I had a plan. So it's not as risky when you have a plan. You know, guys? I knew what I wanted to do to play this out and protect myself, but allow myself to absorb that data. Is pretty much what I was doing. And we're still in. Green literally like 3 pennies. Like small accounts there's no hate on cut and break even. That's a winning trade. Break even's a win any fucking day of the week. Sticking to your plan. Losing money, but sticking to your plan and having a reasonable stop loss is a win as well, guys. If this starts to pop again, I'm gonna start getting bullish here because we came very, very close to my target here. I didn't even realize that wick down pretty much swiped out my target within a few pennies. Oh, come on. Do you prefer 4 charts or 1? Do you prefer me on 4 charts where I could call out more plays, or 1 chart because it's easier for you guys to watch? You should be watching your own screens, honestly. Because when I'm not screen sharing, if I'm on my computer, I always have at least 4 or 8 charts up. Spy's usually on my 3rd monitor all by itself. So I could always watch Spy in conjunction with everything. Here we go. That's why we keep them. Come on. Dump it down. Drop it like it's hot. This is a major level here. This is my target level. All right, here we go. Almost 25%, 99 cents to $1.23. There we go. There we go. Sold 5. 32%. I sold 5. I've got 5 left, 32%. Let's fucking go. Told you exactly what I was going to do there, guys. I hope you followed along well. That's how you scalp with a reasonable risk reward, not just throwing fucking darts at a board. Because we see a candle. %, 40%, 45%, 50%, down to 4. Sliding that stop up now. Down to 3. I took 1 more at $1.40. 3 left. 99 cents to $1.48. Let's go, money printers. Hell yeah, KT. 50%. I told you exactly why I was holding that as well. And it was no risk. It was a break-even risk. There was zero risk to absorbing this bounce. Much different than you haven't taken any trims yet and you're hoping and praying that it keeps going one way. I had no risk on holding that. Zero. And we hit 60% on the button. Smoke through our targets. 643.42 is my next one. I have no idea what this line's from, but if I drew it, it must matter. Very quiet chat. Looks like it was just KT and I in those puts, huh? Very quiet. 80%. Sold one more. Filled at $1.80. Sold one more. We're at 82%. I mean, it's quiet chat. They're either making bags or they're pissed off they missed it. One of the two. I actually like when it's quiet. It means you guys are monitoring your trades. I'm starting to realize that when it's real quiet, it's because y'all are in the trades and you're trimming and shit and just trying to keep up. 85%. Beautiful. That's okay. You made some money on them. That's all that matters. %. I mean, guys, how many times I reiterate it when we're sitting up here on IWM, here on Apple, at the all-time high on Google. I'm never fucking bearish, but I said all morning I don't trust it. Not to take it. We pushed into market open. I hated seeing that. I hate very clear. I had a very clear outlook from the minute the market opened. Very clear. There's a hundo percento. Triple bagger. Let's keep the streak alive, boys and girls. And Google don't give a fuck. That is a relative strength, but not a call entry. There's a difference between it's strong and a good entry. It is not a good entry right there. Yeah, same thing, Katie. 100%. I literally knew we had the data candle. You know, I said I'm gonna let it wick up to that break even, and I think it scraped it. Obviously, I didn't have a stop. I think it scraped it to the penny, but I literally said the entire time, still in. And yeah, and it just dumped. We saw exactly what was happening there. You kind of feel it, and we had identified the biggest part for me, guys, was this line here. Okay, because what this line here was our identification of, let's put this full screen for a second. It was this pivot point we were talking about. If I put on the hourly, I talked about the only place I give a shit on this whole chart is right here, that pivot point, and we're below it. So that made me feel a little bit better, because remember I talked 10 minutes ago about I don't give a shit about any of this because it's not reversal in direction. Oh, by the way, there's 210%. It's not reversal in direction. It's pivot. I care about here and here. That's all I care about. I don't care about anything in here other than this wick high. So I felt a little bit better about holding it because we had already rejected our pivot point once, and we came even lower on this point up. So it was almost like you could really have a little bit of faith in your analysis. And that's the thing, like, you know, you can play 0 DTEs and be safe. And that's kind of what I try to really talk about overall is the safety factor. And that's why I talked through the entire trade of exactly the whys every turn, because here I was a little frustrated because right here we missed our initial entry. I'm like, oh, I don't want to chase. We're right about here. But if you took our initial entry, which would have been the beginning of this candle, you're probably up 300, 400% here. I mean, realistically. but we hit our trigger point. We bounced right off it. I slid that up. We dumped down. I didn't want to chase, but then we also identified this little bit of rejection at the pivot point. We took our trade here. We held it on this. We absorbed this bounce and just it ripped it for us. Like to see, and big volume. This is big volume here. Almost as much as first candle of the day is pretty big volume. Yeah, like if you got in at the first entry, it was 250 to 300% on those puts there. But I'm okay missing that. I'm totally fine missing that entry because I covered my ass. I knew no matter what happened, at most I was going to have single digit loss. Single digit loss on a 0 DT is insanely good risk. And we poked at it a couple times. We had that little 20%. Once we closed it out, I said, I still like entry. I got to be honest. I still like entry here. And that was right about here. We grabbed it again. So I already had that little 20% cover. So that second time I knew I could let this go to totally break even or just past that. And I'm covered. I'm walking away green on the day. That's what I like to see. I hate trading SPY, but damn, I'm ready to trade SPY every day of the week to show you guys how to trade it properly. Like seriously, because unless it's KT calling out the SPY and a little bit by a couple other people, some of the risk I cannot stand. So let's set up our levels here. Now we're finding a little bit of a base. We've already ripped through them, so I don't need those anymore. And so I gotta be honest, a lot of the SPY callouts I see make me hella nervous on this app. So there we go. Let me delete that out. And we'll switch that if we don't get any bounce. This is where we sometimes would expect the bounce. Remember, we talked about once that RSI gets within this box here or dips below it, we can tend to expect a little bit of a bounce and a flat line. We talked about that pretty recently. Oh, I'm talking to you, Arsenic. You better believe it. I think half your trades you force. I think that your trigger finger over encompasses your smarts, which you have. You have all the talent to absolutely crush, and you do. But there's a few people. No, but your entries are 1,000 times better than they were 6 months ago. The growth is insane. Most growth of any, I'm sorry, don't hate me, everybody, of anyone in this Discord, from like A to Z, for sure. Okay. Celsius don't give a rip that we're selling off. Look at that shit. Oh my goodness. You could see it coming too. I don't even have to chart anything. Just these 3 bottom wicks told me the buyers are still like, nope. We have this impulsive candle. Let's midpoint the impulsive candle. Let's not even draw fibs on this chart. We'll midpoint the impulsive candle right here. And would you look at that? I mean, it's so easy to see sometimes. Doesn't mean it's always going to break the right way. The highest probability breaks in all of trading are just over 80%. So 1 out of every 5 trades is not going to break the way it should. Thank you, DGN. And don't let it go to your head, Arsenic, that the compliments either. Are we gonna keep coming down here? So no meaningful pop. Once we break a new low, we can recalibrate our fibs, which it looks like we're going to. There's absolutely zero I see giving me a bullish entry yet. And now for second chance plays, if we clear out this low, pop back up and clear it a second time. All right, so we cleared out. Let me look at, I want to see what the blocks are doing here. Okay. All right, on the buy side. Nope, not yet, guys. Got to pop back above this first. What's this low? 643.79. Here we go. All right, pop back above it. Now we make a decision. See how this liquidity plays out. Still got big volume coming in the SPY here. Big volume. On a Friday, too, I agree with KT. We got a long weekend. If you're sitting here fucking forcing trades and chop an hour from now, do something else. Watch a video, especially if you don't have the fucking education done. All right. So now if we get a candle close below our 643.79 in the next two candles, I think we get a little flush down to 643 or so. Let me look. Oh, yeah. 643.09. That's the next one. Got to get that candle closed, though. And that's a double, too. That's here and there. And we already lost. Let me see where this trend line goes. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. That's pretty much it. And then here. So that's my next three target levels to the downside. Here, here, and then trend line. That trend line is this one. Long term. Looks like it got moved a little bit. Let me fix this. It should be there. There we go. All right. Oh, we almost had it. We almost had it. We came close. We need it pretty quick or that liquidity all resets. It takes too long. Yeah, we're not going to get it. We're getting the flush up. All right, we did dip a little bit, so this is probably needs to come down about 3 cents. Same with this, about 3 cents. I'm not redrawing it. I don't give a fuck. You know, actually, I will. I'm a teacher. I need to draw it. Oh, what am I doing? All right. That was such a strong sell too. What we talk about with volume. Just look at how, even if I put it on the 5-minute, look at how that volume increased through that whole sell. This is just brilliant volume. And then you see how here, see right there? And then look at this. And then look at this. Do you see how this candle was very high volume, reversal, bottom wick, bottom wick, bottom wick on the 5. Now we're starting to pop. Yep. The volume told the story. Oh, I bet you guys didn't know you could do that with the drawing tool on Trading View, huh? So here we go. 25% retrace. Let's see what we do. This will tell a story. Oh, look at that rejection. Can I get a few comments in the chat of crushing 200% day trades? So I could post it with the video and said, what you missed by not watching the stream with us today, chump motherfucker. Never mind, I'm not saying that. It's terrible. I'm terrible. All right, first candle open above 644.90. I'll take a little nibble to the upside. I want to get away from that 25% line. We don't want to get caught. That was pretty heavy bearish. And this is reversal entry. So I need to see a little bit more on a reversal entry versus a continuation entry. Reversal entries, I want a little bit more. So should you. I don't know if I talk about that enough with Fibs, honestly, that on reversal entries, you want to see a little bit more strength because it takes a little more to reverse versus continue a trade. Everybody should understand exactly what these boxes are. I just draw two. I just drew. Might not get to use our boxes. We don't get the push. So on a 25% rejection, however, split that right in the middle. Never, ever, 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 ever do you want to take a 25% rejection entry past the middle point, because where's your stop loss? Past this middle point, the risk reward makes no sense. So you either take in the first half of the trade, because we got to expect a double bottom possible pickup. So that would be our target area. So our target area is going to be if we took it, say, right here. And that's our target area. What's our stop loss? Break of the 25%. So if we take it way down here, our risk reward is upside down. I was kind of waiting for 5-minute volume, Arsenic, because I really did like the support volume right here. Highest 5-minute volume candle of the day was the bounce support. Was a bullish candle overall. So for me, yes, I need like the confirmation, but this right here gave me at least the little glimmer of, okay, we might actually take the bounce here. But I didn't take an entry because we're not above 25% retrace. All right, everybody should know what all these boxes are. If you don't know what all these boxes are, you better dig into that education before you take one more of my trades. Yeah, I said it. Neither, yep, and puts. So the puts, I would already be trimming. If we took put, like I was just talking about taking puts right here, if we were taking, I would already trim. I would instantly be trimming. Such an impulse candle like that, because of all Fibs trades, and I'm going to reiterate this right now, my least favorite is that one. My least favorite is 25% continuation of downside. To the upside, I love it, though. It's quite strange. So this is my least favorite of all puts, is 25% reject down. And on the flip side of that, one of my most favorite is 25% confirmation up. But what's funny about that is on upside trading, I'm the exact opposite. One of my favorite trades is that 25% retracement back up. So it would be like right here if that's our 25%. Whereas one of my least favorite upside trades is the loss of 25 down to the 50. So on upside, it's exactly opposite to me. And that's just kind of the stair steps up, elevator down. It just, they play different. Upside and downside play different. And I've played with Fibs so much in my life that it's strange. I know it sounds strange, but it's true. So this is my least favorite downside trade, is that little 25% reject here. I hate it, because to downside trading, when we find chop in this 25% zone, it tends to be really chop, because with downside tends to flush faster than upside pushes. So, but this trade here, I like this one. And then my number 2 favorite would be 50% reject down. That's my number 2. So number 1 favorite, number 2, and then my third favorite is going to be the 618 break. I hate taking 50 to 618. I don't take any trades within there. I want to see clear. I want to see margin on either side. Like this box, I don't like taking any entries within that. I'm not touching it. I'm in continuation, or I'm taking those rejections and those confirmations. Arsenic is working me on doing a 4-week Fibs class with him. Would you guys be interested in that? I have so much on my plate right now. Probably wouldn't be till the end of the year, but I'm chewing on the idea a little bit, because there's a lot with Fibs that I could teach. I would Arsenic as co-teaching them. It would take a lot off my plate. So second 25% reject there. Lowering push volume. So we never got the confirmation. So for me, it's like we get the hint here. We like this candle. Most volume of the day was the bounce point, but then we're losing it. So if the most volume of the day couldn't pop our 25, I don't know if the bulls have it. Does that make sense, guys? There's so many different ways to read candle analysis. Truly. Because we see, and then we can also see the increase up as we flush, but then the decreases we're trying to pop. So we'll see. Our size over 50, though. We like seeing that on the 5, though. We like seeing it. We're still low. We're still down at 30 on the 5. All right, so here we go. Calls are, this is the loading point for calls. We watch. We don't buy them. We never cheat Fibs entries. Never, ever, ever, ever. This line, this line, this line are the strongest resistance you're going to find in trading. The longer the longer the time frame, the stronger these points are going to be as resistance points and support points. I mean, it's true. If you can't know when I'm drawing these boxes what I'm doing by this point, you better get on that education. Like, I can't even stress it enough. 90% of the people on the Discord knew what I was doing without me even having to speak. This is how you map out day trades with safety. And newer traders should do it every time, even if it's not Fibs. Even if you're not using these little boxes for Fibs. Say we pop on that evil, nasty, nasty, nasty 9, okay? Let's put on that thing everybody likes but me. All right, let's put it on. I don't even know if you guys use EMA or MA. I'm going to guess it's EMA. I ignore it. It's like I ignore it and take it out of my head. There we go. So even if we're using this thing on the 5, everybody loves. Oh my God, look where the rejection was. I'm going to have to start using it. Oh shit. Look at that. Look at that 9 rejection. It was perfect rejection. That's like shocking. That was beautiful rejection, Casey. I'm not being facetious when I say that. Look at that fucking rejection on the 9. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Well, yeah, you need it to play out a little bit first. Well, you and Arsenic tend to use Fibs with EMAs a lot, and right here it lines up perfect. So if we're using EMA and you're an EMA trader and you're not a Fibs trader and using these boxes, like, okay, if we get a 5-minute candle close above the 9, which it's rejecting right there right now, play it up to VWAP, and then your stop loss, if you play both, could be the loss of the 25. And either way, you can use boxes. Because what boxes do, instead of having to do the math when you're on the fly, you could see it. It's a visual represent. It's a tangible thing you could look at and say, well, if my stop loss box is twice the size of my green box, the trade doesn't have the right risk reward. So I mean, I was shocked to see that the 9 was right where we rejected. I give the EMA a little props on that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, so now for me, how I play Fibs with VWAP, because I kind of play those together. When when the VWAP gets too far away from 50% retrace, when it starts to get too far away, I feel like it's got to come back to that area. Like, because when we're chopping, you're going to see when we've got kind of a chop range or not a huge range, we're going to see that VWAP within that box or very close to it. And when it gets too far away, it's almost the same theory as like when the 921 are super far apart. You feel like we've got to have a little bit of consolidation to bring them together. Same strategy in a way. But anyway, we are starting to test this 21 again, guys. No confirmation though. But you see how that's been the rejection here, the same as the 9. So, just constant rejection in the same area with no volume. So longer it goes in the day too. If this volume starts drying up, our good trading's gonna fade away, guys. Unfortunately. I really kind of want to see some action here now. This volume faded fast today. It is Labor Day weekend. A lot of people won't be trading this afternoon. And a lot of market makers aren't trading at all today, have 4-day weekends. So be aware of that. Yeah. Well, we got a killer flush. So we did get a killer move. Oh, nice. Yep. Exactly. Because I'm a volume based trader. So once that volume dries up and it's not giving me anything, my strategy becomes less efficient. That's just the reality of it. It's not necessarily that the moves are going to be bad. My strategy doesn't work with low volume midday. And it's okay. Some people love trading just midday because it moves a little bit slower and you feel a little more secure about the levels you're trading. And that's fine. Because like you said, like EMAs, MAs are probably the strongest within the middle of the day, honestly, because it's got something to work with by then. Yep. 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 So we're watching here. We are above 25% retrace. I need a candle close above that line for my trigger. We're too close. Give a little bit of margin always with Fibs trades. Do you guys hear my dog howling on the other side of the door? He's being horrendous, so I locked him out of the office. I don't know if you guys hear him howling though. Here we go. We're starting to pop that line. Just oh, Apple's green again too. Okay. Yep. So where Tesla like absolutely hemorrhaged and gave it up, Apple continued to be bullish outlier of the day. So we like this a lot. If we get that break at 233.35, it could get a little frisky here. Spy's still struggling with my trigger point. Like I said, I want to, because we had these couple candles here. That's why I decided that's me the area we're going to watch. I'm just not getting it here. It does look like we're almost setting up a little bit of a rising wedge into continuation. We'll see if that's the case. But pretty good nasty wedge here. So we are starting to pop it now. We'll see what happens. That would be our trigger point, guys. That was the candle open above our line. That's the buy. Right here. We'll see how it plays out. Now remember, this is 72% probability pattern. So 3 out of 10 times it is not going to play out. And I did not take the trade. I'm just talking through this one. I'm done day trading for now. I might take something in a little bit. I don't know. But that was our buy point right there. Yep. Nope. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If it's going, if it's going. If it's not, it's not. And it's never going to be a perfect trade. It's just going, like Kate, and that's like that I talk about all the time, the self-realizing prophecy thing. If I need 18 things to line up to take a trade, I'm fucked. I keep this super simple. I have certain entries, certain exits, certain stop losses. Unless something is totally outlying that causes me to take that trade a little differently, it's going to be very similar each time. Like if this candle closes below this 25%, I'll cut it. And I'm okay, and I'll be okay cutting it because it's a tight stop loss and it keeps me in the game for the next trade. Honestly, it was so close anyway to like actual trigger point here. Let's be real, but that's okay. Um, yep, yep, exactly. Yep. And I went to stone cold break even on this wick high here, but you're not even break even. I went negative 17 cents a contract because I said I'm going to let this play out to break even overall because I'd already sold half because I knew there was no strength in the market. And I didn't want to have to, like, quote unquote, like you say, perfectly time another entry. I was like, nope, I'm going to do this instead. Yep. Yep. Oh, and that's exactly it right there. I'm trying to figure out what chart paper muffins put up and what time frame that is. Because it is actually a nice chart for fair value gaps, but I don't draw fair value gaps on anything smaller than the 5. Okay, so I do see one here. So he posts a fair value gap. All a fair value gap, guys, is the space in between candle wicks, not bodies, wicks. Fair value gaps are wicks. Okay. So, and it's got to be three light color candles. This kind of ICT fair value gaps. So on the way down here, if we look, because when you get really clean, you can stack this on top of Fibs, and this is what I'm actually going to teach very soon. I'll give just a brief overview instead of a full lesson. 3 light color candles, and the wicks don't overlap. They overlap here. These are not light colored. They overlap here. They overlap here. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, here they don't. So it's this gap between this wick, and I would never draw these on anything lower than a 5-minute chart, guys, to that one. So that's what we draw. And when we see one of those stacked up with, oh, what the hell? There we go. And then midpoint of fair value gaps are pretty important. So that's what he has drawn right there. That's pretty much exactly what he drew. And you see how that was our rejection point, midpoint of this fair value gap. Yeah. There's a way you can trade fair value gaps stacked on top of Fibs that I really do like. So honestly, this trigger right here was so fucking weak. I had the line here and I said, oh, we had something close above there, but it really didn't. It was just shit. And I kind of knew it was shit because we chopped in the 25% too long. But I'll tell you what, the rejection, which was candle open right there, that was the play. That's the rejection entry, which I don't like playing the rejection, 25% rejections when we have this much chop, because I don't think we're going to get the full flush down. Personally, the later we get in the day. Because in anything like with profit taking too, you don't have to hold down to that level. You got to be ready to take some profits off the table. The first little bit of bounce we get, like right here, you should instantly be out of half. Instantly on that. Anyway, that's what he drew. It was the fair value gap on the 5 on the SPY right there. And then you got bullish and bearish order blocks as well. So, oh, I didn't mean to move that. That needs to be right there. So on here, we've got, let's see, what do we got here? We've got a bearish order block here. And we had, it just blew it out. But we had, no, we didn't have one there because we're not within it. I mean, kind of a bullish order block there, but not quite. I don't like that one. All right. Anyway, most of ICT's methods are thievery of super simple strategies. All right, so we swept the high, so we swept the low. Could be ready for another second chance entry. That 25% rejection was beautiful. That was a perfect entry right here. I have to say, I have loved seeing all the orb traders get their asses handed to them the last 3 weeks in this chop. Orb has been the absolute worst strategy the last 3 weeks. Changed my mind. I'm not an Orbs fan either, to be honest. I think there's better ways to trade. Especially when it's orbs like, oh, I like the 5 minute, and the other person likes the 10, and the other person likes the 30, and the other person likes the 15. And I think that's because I traded for so long without social media and whatever the newest flavor of the month is, whether it's an ICT concept, so on and so forth. So this candle, so it was actually really nice right here, that liquidity clearing. This candle broke below low a day, popped back up because the close of the candle was right here, closed above it. And then as soon as we dump below it, we flushed down a good 40 cents on that candle. See what happens here at the retest. All right, I'm going to shut down the stream and we can switch to member voice. Let me shut this down on